Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, boy.
What's up, kid?
Chillin', man.
We inside.
I got my motherfucking Wu-Tang.
You doing Wu-Tang tonight?
Hell yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna let you DJ. I'm gonna turn off my beats.
It's just Pandora, so you might hear some commercials.
Oh, shit. I be listening to Amazon Prime.
Hey, if you want to DJ with no commercials, man.
Nah, I was gonna throw on a playlist and just let it rock, but sometimes it gets a little loud.
You got Wu-Tang?
So, I mean, I could pull up a Wu-Tang something. So it'll take me a little second to get it all popping, but what's good with you, brother?
I'm gonna put this Wu-Tang back on, but first,
there you go.
I want you to say hello to my Irish friend.
Oh snap! We doing whiskey tonight?
We're gonna be here for a minute or two.
Yeah, no. I just opened up a bottle of wine. I was doing some garnacha, some Spanish wine. So this is strong though, bro. This is 14.5% alcohol. It's no comparison to what you're doing. But in a few glasses, I'll be getting nice. You know what it is.
It's all good like firewood, man.
So salud. If you got yours, I got mine. We throw it up to the camera. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks for participating in this, man. I really appreciate it. It's hard to connect with people in a meaningful way, especially over the internet and shit. So.
Yeah, man. I've never done one of these 20-question joints or like an extended interview like this over the ground. So it's not bad.
I just expect that we're just gonna be chilling and getting right and talking that talk. You know what it is.
The only thing that I wish I was doing right now is I'm not smoking trees anymore right now.
I heard.
Otherwise, I'd be.
Let's talk about that. I mean, let's start there. That's not a question that anybody submitted or any of that craziness. But what made you do the thing?
But you know what it is I had to give it at least an extended break because my lungs were just starting to get funny with it. You know what I mean? I was coughing a lot, and my heart rate was not acting right like it usually. You know what I mean? I started to feel funny, like, hey, I can't really be fucking with this weed like that. It's gonna fucking put me under. You know what I'm saying?
And was you like, were you doing any of the new age techniques, or you were just straight rolling it up?
I was
you vaporizing it? Were you putting it in the volcano and all that?
You with no vape, man.
just a straight up greenery.
That's right. Hi, Nigella. I see you over there.
Yeah, we got people in the room. I see Photo Mall is here too. There's a couple people in here chilling. So look, let's crack it off. I want to tell everybody thanks for joining us. This is 20 Questions with Shooter Street Art, featuring the one and only Jeff Henriquez. You know him. He's a dope artist. Altogether, just a cool guy, and we're really glad to have you here today. So salute and thank you. I do have some questions that did come in on the chat. I got some of my own questions here, but really, if people are out there on the gram and you want to ask Jeff a question and you want to tune in direct and have your question answered, you could go ahead in the comments down there and throw it in there. And then there's also that question button. And if you hit that, it gives us a little list of questions and we could pop them on the screen. So it's real choochie, and we're going to leverage the technology tonight. Since Photo Mall is here, who's Monica, she submitted a question, and we could start our first question tonight with Photo Mall's question. And that was, what piece are you most proud of? She loves the stuff that you've done for the Bushwick Collective, but she wants to know, what are you kind of most proud of? What's your joint?
If we're talking about the new stuff, like the new stuff.
Anything, brother.
Oh man, I love all my babies, man. There's a few of them though. You know what? I'm gonna give you a little walk.
Okay.
Let me show you exactly. One of my favorite pieces is this guy right here.
Yo, I love that joint. Actually, when I met you, that's the piece that you were showing in Jersey City.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you had that one in the mailbox piece.
The mailbox piece, I'm going to show you that one too.
Love that joint.
There's of course, there's
Yeah,
this,
brother.
this Chuck Close joint. But my favorite is right here. That's my favorite right there. That's my favorite right there. That's my favorite.
That baby right there. That's
my
number one.
baby girl.
Baby girl.
My baby girl. There's this one. This is
The phone is
6 foot.
cracked. That's taking me right to the 90s, bro.
6 foot. What is it? 6 foot by 4 foot. But the mailbox joint I'm talking about is this one.
Yeah, brother. To me, that's like New York City, brother. And then the way you captured the light in the background and it almost feels neon. It's beautiful.
Man,
Yo, throw some hearts on that. Everybody who's watching, make sure you put some hearts on that because that's a beautiful piece right there. Jeff is showing us his studio right now. He's Chuck Close.
That's Chuck Close.
You want to tell them a little bit about Chuck Close, Jeff, for folks who don't know who that is?
Well, Chuck Close is one of my painting heroes, man. Chuck Close is my painting hero because he was the guy who got me excited about painting in photorealism.
Oh, show that baby gal right there, boy.
This is not Chuck Close. This is a portrait of something else that's beautiful too.
Oh man, too bad the inspiration for that is not around.
That's the homie Uncut.
That's an uncut collab.
Nah, you know what's funny? All I did was I had a frame,
and
I put his frame piece inside of that.
Inside the bigger frame.
Yeah, because I didn't have anything to put in it.
That's dope, brother.
But yeah, Chuck Close. That's one of my favorite pieces is the Chuck Close joint for sure. I have another one that's sort of top secret. I had to kind of pan past it really quick so as not to give it away yet.
All right. I'm not going to rewind back later and go in slow motion and look at it. I'm not.
You might see it.
I'm not going to do that. All right. So that was question number one. Jeff loves all his babies. If anybody else has questions, new guys who just showed, if you didn't DM us or comment, go in the bottom there and drop your question. I'm going to go on to another question that I received. And this one came from Anna Candelaria. I think you know Anna. She's a photographer in the game. She's always at the shows. She wants to know more about the gallery that you opened up in Florida. What was that experience like? And do you have any plans to open up another?
I don't have plans to open up another gallery. The gallery that I had in Florida was called Raw Vibes Art and Performance Space.
Okay.
Me and my partner at the time opened that up to try to do something new over there, and it was a beautiful failure. Oof. One of the best things you can do when you try something new is to fail at it, like terribly. That's where you learn the most in your experiences. You know what I'm saying? So I don't regret the experience at all. Wouldn't do it again, but I don't regret it at all. But that was something that lasted very briefly. The financial market crashed behind the real estate situation there, so
Ouch.
That came. But it was one of the dopest spaces in St. Pete at the time. I think it was around 2009, 2010. Yeah, you can Google it. Raw Vibes Art and Performance Space, and the images.
Raw Vibes Live Performance Space.
Yeah,
Art Performance Space.
Long time ago. Long time.
So the market, that's when the whole the financial crisis hit with all of the homes and the subprime mortgage rates and all that crazy shit.
Yeah, that was the whole bit right there. That was the whole bit right there. All right, here we go. I feel like
so that's only 2 questions so far. So listen, everybody, you got a chance to have your questions answered. Go ahead and throw them in the comments. There's also the questions button on the bottom. I wanted to ask you a question with regards to the work that I saw that you did in Wisconsin, I believe. Huge mural out there. I heard you also speaking about some other work that you were going to be doing in Wisconsin. And I was like, Wisconsin? How'd the homie end up out there? Like, what's the backstory on that?
I'm going to tell you how I ended up in Wisconsin. The way I ended up in Wisconsin was I did a piece for in Salem, Massachusetts. with Mickey Stern. It was Punto Urban Salem, I believe, was the name of the mural festival. And I got invited to go out there via Urban Ruben, who
Yeah,
I was
salute
good
Urban
with.
Ruben. Dope.
Yeah, that kid's a beast. So you should look him up, Urban Ruben. He's bananas.
I know Ruben's work, and I actually got to meet him down in Miami this past Basel,
Yep.
and he was just real like down to earth guy. We talked for like
Yeah,
40 minutes or
he's very
something.
down to earth, man. Sleeves rolled up, with the
Yeah.
dreads. He is one of the points of pride for Dominican people and creativity. Absolutely. So through him, I got introduced to Mickey Stern and the folks over at Punto Urban in Salem, and I did a piece that I borrowed imagery from Norman Rockwell. So it was almost like an abstract homage to Norman Rockwell, where I had three faces like stacked up on top in like an abstract sort of composition, and a woman named Nigella she was in the area looking around and saw the piece and she liked it, and she's from Janesville. Well, she's from England, but she lives in Janesville, Wisconsin, and she was like, she wanted to commemorate the Native American indigenous population over there. And then later on I did a piece in Newark, New Jersey that consisted of another Native American chief. So when she saw that, she was like, okay, let's hire Jeff. And she was like, yo, I got this gigantic wall out there in Janesville. You want to come paint it? I said, okay.
Yeah.
You got some come to Janesville money? She said, yeah, I got some come to Janesville money. I said, all right, then guess what? I'll go to Janesville, right? Mm-hmm. So we went to Janesville, and I rocked this humongous portrait. And let me tell you, the impact that it had on the people out there was bananas.
Am I still online?
Yeah, it's online.
I just had a crazy power surge in my house. All my power jumped.
Okay. There's
I think I gotta go to Janesville.
You can look up Chief Blackhawk in Janesville, and that piece became like a city landmark. It's a landmark for the town, absolutely. It's a landmark for that region of the state now. I think I ended up on the front page like 3 or 4 times during the process of the mural. I was on the news, I was on the radio. It was so dope.
Yeah, really I saw some of the press from that, and I think at one point you were with the native tribesmen in a circle, and they were doing like some ritual with you involved in it, and it just felt it felt like a really dope moment, to experience as an artist. It must be crazy to get that kind of love.
I mean, these are these are chiefs. These are old men. These are dudes who are the original owners of this land. And so to get love from them was a highlight of my career. And then we had this little drum circle to sort of bless the wall, and they were burning sage. And then the indigenous chief of the area gave me one of his arrowheads that he'd had for 25 years. And I was blown away. It was very, very emotional. It was moving. I was like, wow, this doesn't happen all the time. This is the first time it ever happened like that. It doesn't happen all the time. And so I had developed some relationships while I was out there with some of the locals, because they have small town values. You know what I mean? You shake hands. You have, you do business face to face, eye to eye. You know what I mean? People want to see what you're about, and they can tell by how you act, and they can see how you act because you're right there. It's not all like full of like with the technology like it is here.
Yes, there's real people. They're not full of shit. Right.
Regular folks, blue collar, shaking hands and getting your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I met these lovely folks, Joan Nino and Richard Nino, and they own a restaurant called The Lark. I'd never had. Listen, the food there was out of control.
Really?
Leak ash. Okay? Leak ash.
Maybe you have to throw that in the chat for people after this so they get the reference of where they got to hit up. Give them some props, or if they got IG or whatever, let's give them some props.
Mark Restaurant. I haven't spelled restaurant. Restaurant.
They know what it is.
And Leak Ash.
So what kind of marvelous shit was you eating?
So here's what they did. They invited me to come in and eat there and hang out there. Hi, Marina. I see you. They invited me to come out and eat. Hello, Photo Mall. Am I saying that right? That's right.
There's good spelling, Ron. There you go.
What's up, John?
Good looking.
So they invited me to go back to Janesville to help them design the interior of their restaurant. And all they said was, Jeff, do Jeff. Wow. They said, go in the restaurant and do whatever Jeff Henriquez will do in a restaurant. I was like, wow.
That's crazy, like, okay, bro.
Of course, it's a huge opportunity. So then we started working on it. We started building on it. We started creating, I started creating mood boards and design boards for them and you know, selecting furniture and all of this stuff. And the virus landed and put everything on pause.
Damn. So this is like the next project that you were about to jump into? Or one of them?
Me, I'm supposed to be in Wisconsin at that restaurant right now. That's what I'm supposed to be right now, is in Wisconsin working on their restaurant.
Yeah, right. That's right. I want to talk more about Wisconsin, but we do have a question that came into the chat, and I want to be able to respect it. We've done 3 questions so far, Jeff. So here's the next one is popping up. What was one of your most memorable shows and why? And that's from Wanderlust.
Bushwick Collective anniversary, 10-year anniversary show. Bushwick Collective 10-year anniversary show. Okay. I'm out walking with Tina. We're outside. This is when I lived in Bushwick, right? This whole thing was bananas, right? Because I don't like to really leave my house. Most people know that I'm a homebody. I like to be home. I don't like leaving my house, right? Boom. So I leave my house. She drags me out. She's like, come on, go outside, go outside, go outside. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go outside. Go outside. We're on Troutman. And Joe from Bushwick Collective sees me from across the street, and he thinks I'm somebody else. So he's like, hey, yo! And he calls me, right? He gets closer, realizes that I'm not who he thinks I am. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not the guy that you think I am. I'm sorry, but look, can I just be a douche and show you my paintings, right? And then you can tell me to go take a walk. If you don't like them, that's fine. But I figure now, if I got him right in front of me,
you got his attention. This is the time. Yeah.
I might as well. What's the worst thing that happens? He's gonna say no, right? So I pull out the phone and I start showing him my my hyper realist full bleed paintings, right? And he's like, oh, I remember these. He's like, bro, I don't show photography. I said, bro, these aren't photographs. These are paintings.
Wow. So that is a super big, you know, a big up.
That
right?
was the most significant show of my career as of yet. Okay, the single most significant show. Okay, now check this out. So he's like, yo, I'd seen these already. That's why I didn't bring you on, because I thought you was a photographer. You thought I was a photographer, which is a compliment, right?
That's what I mean. Like, kudos,
right? Yeah. So he's like, okay, listen, this is what I want you to do. It's like, my cat. Look at my cat is such a pain.
You got cats and dogs.
What you doing, man?
Doing it all. You doing?
I got a whole.
You got any other animals in the house?
He just does whatever he wants to do.
It's a boss.
Anyway, so hi, Christy Flores. So then he says, okay, grab all your paintings, and I want you to show your work at the 10-year Bushwick Collective anniversary show. I said, hell yeah, absolutely. So I go, I set up, right? And you know who I met? Tim Okamura. You know who else I met? Cost. Okay? And the next thing I know, I got a piece. What is that? I got pieces next to Shepard Ferry, Cost, Tim Okamura, Drinkula, some of these other cats. I think it was Dan. Is it Dan Witz?
Do you fan out when you start meeting like these legends in the game, or you still doing cool?
Tim Okamura, I was a little bit goofy. I had been studying his work for a while. When you know someone's work way before you meet them, and then you meet him, and then Tim was so cool. He was super, super nice. And it's funny because we both dressed the same. We had like the cargo shorts covered in outfits. And if you look at like I have a picture of us together. We're both it's like a picture from the back, and we're both looking at one painting. And we look exactly the same, except he's like a foot taller than me. The dude's like a giant lumberjack, but the nicest redwood tree you ever met in your life. That dude he'll pinch your head off your shoulders and flick it across the room, but he'll be nice about it. You know what I mean? He'll be like, you know what? That was refreshing. You know? What's up, Eli? You know what I mean?
All right, so listen, guys, we're through 4 questions so far. This is an opportunity for everybody who's hanging out. If you have a drink, pour up. I'm gonna refresh. If you have questions, please throw them in the chat.
Yes, it was, Marina. Yes, it was.
There's also that little question button down at the bottom you can hit up. All right, so we got another question. We'll take that as number 5, right? What was your first 3D piece, and how did you get inspired to do it? Is that 5?
I think that's 4. 5, 4. I'm not sure.
No, I got a little. Look, I'm old school, brother.
Hey, okay, all right. Hey, I'm keeping count of these. I'm still on 1. So
That's all you got to do. Let's go.
So the deal is, what 3D, basically what it comes down to was pushing the space and making the flat 2D canvas disappear. Okay, and the way I did that was, I think my first painting doing that was a canvas that I sold to one of my collectors in Florida. It's a piece it was like a rectangle. It was like 12 by 24, and what it was a painting of a fence. It was a painting of some Boca lights, and a fence right in front of it. I want to see if I can pull it up. I might not have it right here. It's in my phone. But what it was is some city lights in the back, and then I had the sharp fence link, the chain link fence, like right up front. You can find it in my Instagram. You gotta scroll down a little bit.
Deep in the feed.
It's deep in the feed, but that was one of the, I would call that probably the first straight up 3D piece where, no, that's not it. That's not the first one. The first 3D piece that I had done, the first 3D piece that I had done was a red firebox where it had the red lights in the back. The whole thing was red. The whole thing had a red. Was red. Let me see if I can. I got it right here. I'm gonna pull it up right here for sure.
You got the iPad going?
I have. Let's see what I got. I know I have like the albums here. The albums. Yes.
Do share.
Yeah, I got the albums here. I got the albums here. I'm gonna find it, and it was one of the first ones. Or was it the second one? Here it is. This is actually this is the first one. This is the first one right here. That's the
firebox with the slaps on.
This is the traffic light box. That's the traffic light box, but this is the firebox.
That's dope.
That's the firebox right there. You can't tell with this bright.
No, you can see it, and it still looks dope. It still looks like a photograph.
So that's acrylic
and somebody in the chat just said, I remember thinking it was a picture. So
that was the first more 3D type piece that I had done. And then after that, well, yeah, the first or the second. So that was the second one, but this was the first one from a series called Night Moves. Way to go. This was the first one from a series called Night Moves.
That shit is crack, bro. It's for real.
It's from a series called Night Moves, and my friend Chris Drukas owns it. A childhood friend of mine named Chris Drukas owns it.
Yeah, the realism with the street art blend is like, this shit is resonating heavy, for real. I think everybody would agree.
Well, I'm enjoying it, man. I mean, I still at the time I wasn't making a living as an artist. What's up, Mark? I see you. What up, Ronnie? I
Yo,
see you.
actually, let's keep the conversation flowing, but Ronnie came with question number 6. I know the answer to this because I was here when we started out, but what is your drink and what are you drinking?
Ian, well, right now I'm drinking Jameson, but my drink of choice is E&J. And the reason I like to drink E&J, I'm gonna tell you why I like to drink E&J, is
And for
because
those in
when
the
I
hood, they call that Easy Jesus.
Easy Jesus,
That's
oh, it has
the
so
Easy Jesus.
Easy Jesus. So the reason I like E&J is because one of my best friends name is Jesse Cardoso. Okay, and I've known him for like 25 years now, and I met him in college, and we didn't really hit it off right away because we each had our own little macho issues, like, you know, we just
It was
didn't
the alpha male headbutting situation.
probably, but it
Yeah,
was from a we never disrespected each other or anything like that. It was never anything like that. But
right.
when we finally got down to squashing all the issues that we had, right? That's right. Tamara knows who we're talking about. Um, we sat down and we smashed an entire handle of E&J. I got a black and white photo stashed in there somewhere of me and of Jesse in a black and white photo reaching for the bottle, and we killed that entire bottle. And from that point on, we became super good friends. So when I go out to, and plus it's a little bit sweet. I got kind of a sweet tooth,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of what got me onto with the E&J. So I'm not really a drinker like that, but I don't always drink.
But you
But
have
when I
the
do,
memory,
I
you
drink
know,
J
of linking with the homie over the Easy Jesus.
over
And
the
there it
EG.
is.
That's
Yo,
right.
if you guys have more questions, throw them in the comments. Please throw them in you hit the questions button on the bottom there, and we'll be able to also see it pop up in the chat. So please do. Add
Big Ron
questions. We're on number
now.
6. And I got some stuff here. I could jump into number 7, unless somebody comes up with something really quick. All right. So I've seen a couple of comments about my next question, which is direct your coffee game. Tell us about it. It's not really a question. It's more of a request, but I'm going to count it as a question. Talk to me about the cafecito. I saw the video.
Ronnie. All right, I'm going to do it right now.
Break it down.
I grew up drinking coffee. Let's start with that. When I was little.
How old were you?
Coffee. Probably like 7 when I had my first sip of coffee.
Sip?
Probably
That's like after all the adults walk away and there's this little sip left, you went and hit it? Like the party at the crib?
No, that was the beer. That's
what I was that's what I was thinking.
Let me show you one aspect of my coffee game, okay?
Let's go. Show us. The Bustelo is even in the paintings, folks. There it is.
That's in Michigan right now.
Bustelo gang all day.
So that's right. I take my coffee game very seriously. So with the coffee, the way I like to do it is instead of using sugar, this is the trick. This is one of the big tricks. Instead of using sugar, I use condensed milk instead of sugar, okay? I put it on the bottom of the cup. I brew my coffee with cloves and cinnamon and nutmeg if I have it. Pack it in nice and tight. And then I mix it together. And then I make my foam by hand. And then I put that on top. Boom, it's a wrap.
Damn, dog.
That's how I have it that way every single day.
And how many of those a day are you doing? Just one a day? That's it?
Sometimes 2 a day. Sometimes twice a day.
That's what it is.
Sometimes a day. But no more than twice a day. It's strong stuff.
Yeah, the Bustelo will have your heartbeat doing some things if you're not ready for it.
But they say that if you
I have
coffee,
fond memories of it personally because I grew up, with my grandparents, and in the house, if a lot of Latin families know, like you got the Bustelo on deck, you got the cheesecloth, strainer You got a pot that's dedicated to the milk, if that's what they're doing. And then you have the stovetop, just classic
Uh-huh.
coffee maker. You know what I mean? It's not fancy, but I
Usually there's a
remember
sock, and
that was like the whole shit. Like every morning, it was on deck.
sometimes there's a sock involved. I got a very noisy cat.
You went sock levels.
No, I don't use a sock. My mother and my grandmother used to use the sock.
The sock, brother.
My
Yes.
cat's really noisy. He wants attention, so
Yeah, you can hold cats. You're home. It's comfortable.
let me see if he'll hold still long enough, because
All
I
right.
know he might jump off and run away, but he's always
So
making
we
a
hit
racket.
7 questions already. I saw a question come up in the chat from Marina, I believe, and I think I know the answer to this, but let's ask it because I have it on my list as well. Have you ever taught art, and would you ever teach?
Yeah, I used to teach art at I taught art. I taught art at pretty much every teaching job I had. The Boys and Girls Club in Alston was the best teaching job I had. My boss was Jenny Newt. She was awesome. They let me. I had a huge art studio. I had a ceramics program. I had a painting and drawing and mural program.
Wow.
I had painted black chalk paint on both perpendicular walls, so that kids could come and draw on the walls. It's like chalkboard paint. So
Yeah.
I painted the wall chalkboard paint, and I think within 6 months of me working there, we got nominated to win several state awards, which had never happened for the club before.
There goes the power again.
Spirits, man, spirits.
I think we're channeling right now, brother.
Spirits
no.
is you're channeling spirits, man. Don't make me start lighting candles, man.
Don't do it.
Shit.
Con los
Okay.
santos no se juega.
Con los
Don't
santos no
play
se juega,
around.
loco.
Word up, brother. All right, we got some questions that
dope.
came in the chat. We just hit 8 questions. You know what I mean? We're going to jump on to number 9. Let's see what we got. And if the chat question ever pops up, that would be wonderful. That would be great. You want to try it on your end? You see the button down there with the question mark?
It's the same. I got to use my head to go
You got
like this.
You can do
To
it.
read the white text.
So if you click it again, it should pop it up on the screen.
You know what?
There
I don't
you
even know
go.
how this works. Frank with you. But with the teaching, that job was the best job. That was my favorite job. You know what I mean?
All right, so here we go. We got that one.
Okay, we got the memorable show part.
All right, boom. Here comes the next one. Besides other artists, what other elements influence your work, movies, music, etc.? Question number 9.
That's a good question. Yeah, movies, absolutely. Movies, absolutely. My favorite movie of all time is The Professional with Natalie Portman and I forget who the main character's name is. The French dude.
The French dude with the little hat and the glasses?
Yeah. This guy, No Women, No Kids. I forget his name. That's my favorite movie.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name, but I remember that film. She was like a kid when that came out, right?
She was like 11 or 12 or something.
Yeah.
Leon. That was his character, but I forget his name in the movie. I mean, his real name, Jean.
French actor.
Jean. Right. So, all right, I'm gonna spill the beans right now. Okay.
Tell us. Spill the beans. Let it go. Have another drink.
It's kind of a secret project, but it's not, because I posted a piece of it. I'm doing a painting of Spike Lee right now. It's part of a series of paintings called the Icon series.
You haven't showed that painting yet, though.
I only showed a piece of it, like this much, like just his eye.
So could we see like this much? Because we all got on the internet to hang out with you on Friday night, and we were going out to the club, but we were like, nah, I just want to hang out on Instagram. Exclusive. Shooter Street on Jeff Henriquez exclusive. Ooh, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Hit those heart buttons, folks. Hit the hearts.
That's all you get.
That's all we got. I see you,
That's all you
Playboy.
get. Just that little piece.
That was looking real right. Real right.
That's all we gonna do. But
I digress.
Spike Lee obviously was, is one of my film heroes. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I saw a photo of you with him at Uncut show, I think. It was you, Uncut, and Spike maybe a year or two ago. So
No, it was less than a year ago. It was less than a year ago. And I met him for a couple of minutes. Really nice guy, right? Really, really nice guy. Of course, I geeked out. I was trying to play it cool. I was like, okay, Mr.
so
Lee.
you did geek out.
Mr. Lee, can I take a picture with you, Mr. Lee? I'm friends with Uncut Art, too. I want to be
Mr. Lee.
Of course, man. What are you going to do? I mean, how cool?
Lee, yeah.
I was starstruck to death, man. Of course. I was starstruck to death, And then he was kind enough to say, okay, motherfucker, let's take a picture. And then he took the picture. It was me, him, and Uncut. And of course, I romanticized the shit out of it in my head. I'm like, yeah, man, we're homies now. Like, nah.
You try to hit him in the DM, bro? You hit him in the DM?
No. I didn't bother him. No. I mean, people harass that dude probably. People probably harass that dude on a daily basis with some stupid shit.
Of course.
What am I gonna do? Roll up on him? Hey, remember the time we took a picture for 3 seconds? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
At my first apartment, or my second apartment in Brooklyn, my roommates at the time were friends with Cheech from Cheech and Chong.
Oh shit. Cheech Marin?
Cheech Marin. He showed up to collect some artwork, right? And a joint got passed around.
You was puffing with Cheech?
I'm not gonna blow it up. It wasn't all like that. But it got passed around. I hit it out of courtesy, out of respect, because Cheech is
because you can't say no to Cheech.
You're gonna say no.
Even if you got a drug test for work the next day, if Cheech pulls up,
the drug test.
Listen,
man, forget the drug test, man. Listen, man. That's like if Snoop Dogg hands you a joint. What are you gonna do? You're gonna say no? No. You go ahead and you fail the drug test.
Can you imagine if Snoop Dogg passed off to you and you're like, nah, I don't do that, man.
Man, listen. If Snoop hands me a joint and I got a drug test in 20 minutes, guess what? Voluntarily fail that drug test.
You be outside in front of Quest.
Let me tell you something. I'm like, listen, I failed the drug test on purpose.
I was with Snoop.
It's because of Snoop, and they'll just be like, you know what? We're gonna let that slide, man, because whatever. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do?
So let's move to question number 10. We're halfway there. I saw this question come up in the chat. I jotted it down because I thought it was a good thing to kind of ask the man. If you weren't an artist and a painter, what would you do? What do you think your career would be? That's tough, huh? Because I know you've been doing this for a long time, senor.
I would either be dead. I would be. You know what? I would probably just be a family man. And by family, I don't mean my own kids. I mean teaching and helping these other kids out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like coffee might be one of them, but coffee is like this. It's something that you just kind of mess with right then and there, but it doesn't have that same like forever effect. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to have, like I've always wanted to open a cafe. Like here was my thing.
Hey, you still can.
I ain't gonna do it though, but check it out. I was gonna open a laundromat, right? A laundromat, and I was gonna call it Clean Canvas Laundry. Right?
Okay.
Makes sense, right? Now
Don't
let me ask
steal
you this.
this idea, anybody. Don't jack
Man,
them.
y'all can, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead, take it. Take it. So I was like, okay, Clean Canvas Laundry, and the premise was people never go to a laundromat that's nice. Every time you go to a laundromat, it looks like a shithole, right?
There's a
The
look.
machines are busted. There's a
Yeah,
piss
there's a
stain
look.
on the floor somewhere. It's not a place where you want to hang out at. So I was gonna come up with a laundromat that was so dope where you could hang canvases in a place called Clean Canvas Laundry. What's up, Shira? I see you.
That's
A
dope.
place called Clean Canvas Laundry where you could hang up some nice artwork, not necessarily for sale, right? But there would be a cafe in the front, like a nice cafe in the front with some nice couches, something eclectic, something bohemian, right? So you can have all the artsy types in the front. They're doing their while they're waiting for their laundry. They can watch
Yo, Jeff,
read books.
your image is spinning on my end. I don't know if other people are having the same problem.
I can see you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So you can
I
keep
can see
talking.
you
I'm
perfectly.
good.
I
I
can
don't know
see
if
you
your
perfectly
camera
fine.
probably went off and
I
it's
can see you.
probably
I don't know what's up.
a
I
connection
can see.
thing.
Tell the crowd that I can hear you and I can see you perfectly.
Keep going. The bohemians and the
So
artists would be doing.
I'm getting text messages now like, yo, where you at? Hold on. I can see everybody.
Hey, Jeff, do you want to disconnect and reconnect and see if that helps?
How do I do that?
So I would,
All right. Would I just press X and then come back?
yes.
All right, ready? Action.
Action. All right, guys, we're gonna wait for Jeff to come back. Had a little internet situation popping. We did 10 questions so far, so we have 10 more. If you haven't already done questions, please put them in the comments. And also, you can use the question button below. We are picking up questions. We want to take 10 more questions from everybody. And so please participate.
How's
There he
that?
goes. You look wonderful.
You back?
You're up and running.
All right.
All right.
So the idea was to have a what's up, James? Primo, Tony Porte, te quiero mucho, loco. It's my cousin.
That's not that cousin though.
No. Tony Portes is my cousin on my mother's side.
Got
I
you.
love him. I love him dearly. He's a big bear. I love him to death. He was that cousin that when you're little, you want to just, hey Ina, I see you, boo. All right. And he's the cousin that he's big. He's the older cousin that you always wanted to hang out with when you were little because he carry you on his back and all of this, right? Throw you in the pool and then come and get you. So what I was gonna do, cafe in the front, laundromat in the back, clean, beautiful, sexy, contemporary, and that was gonna pay for my studio above. I was gonna live above the laundromat.
That's a great idea.
And all of that paid for and just make art all day long, all day, all night, and have a business downstairs that would sustain all of that.
That sounds
You know what I'm saying?
achievable. That sounds like something you could do if you ever wanted to fall back.
It doesn't require a patent.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. All you gotta do is if you could just redecorate your situation. If you already own a laundromat, you could redecorate it, put a cafe down there, boom. You know, it's smart. You know, it could be done. That's right. That's right. Now you. Or you. All right, I'm gonna vamp. I see a frozen. Routine, man. You're gonna make me do my comedy routine. I can't hear you at all.
I'm back. I'm back. Are you back?
Okay, there we go. Okay. Got lucky. I was about to run my comedy routine on you, son. Almost.
I love a good comedy routine. That's what you would have done. Some stand-up.
That's like a recently. That's like a late as of late because I listen to more comedy than music. Believe it or not. Bill Burr is my favorite guy. What is it? Anthony Jeselnik. Those two dudes have me dying. And Earthquake.
So I don't know how this is working now, but I totally don't see you. I hear you. And
Yo, what are the Russians doing, man? This COVID is messing with the computers and all that shit.
well, you know what's crazy is that
Who's not that? They're all funny.
we've
You
been
know what you're talking about.
my peoples and I run a Zoom program, and the other day we got hacked by the Russians, and all of a sudden like 100 bots showed up in the Zoom and started getting on the microphone and taking over the chat and shit. It was crazy.
See?
Crazy.
I was talking to Big Ronnie about that. And I said, listen, I was like, what's up with Zoom talking about malware? And he's like, it's not that it has malware, it's that it can be hacked.
Yes.
The conversation can be hacked and they can jump in, which is, essentially, yes, he does rock, which is essentially what the whole hack, the whole malware business was. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole trick with that. That's why I was so skeptical with downloading Zoom. And people tend to have a tendency to jump on the first piece of technology that's popular. You know what I mean? I can't do it, but I have Zoom now because no one else is using it. Everybody's using the same thing. No one's using anything else. Remember Skype?
Listen, I still have Skype installed on one of my machines here. My son uses it actually to talk to his grandparents because they got Skype.
Right.
So let's just pause for a second. How's the feed looking for everybody? Can you see both Jeff and I, or is either one of our cameras not working or frozen?
Neil Brennan's corny.
Because on my end, I can't see you, Jay.
I can see you and I can hear you.
And I'm glad to know it. We need to get an 11.
Can you see me in here?
I can't see you, but I do hear you.
Damn.
Can see me, but not Jeff. I can't see Jeff.
What the
No,
fuck?
Jeff. No,
Let's
Jeff
try-
is
yo.
blurry.
What the fuck?
Come on back, Jeff. We'll be right here.
Try
We
this
have
again.
power outages, all kind of crazy shit. So, guys, fill up on some questions, please. We are at question number 11. We're going to take the next question that's coming into the chat. And here comes El Jefe, Jeffe, waiting for him to connect. You got this. Connecting. You can do it. All right.
You can do it.
You are here now. And you're looking way better.
Órale pues, ¿qué pasas?
Órale pues, mi güey.
I'm going to tell you a little story about, oh man, this is going to sound terrible. I live in Newark, New Jersey right now.
Yeah,
right?
let's go. Tell it.
I have a beautiful apartment. It's nice. But I live near a park, it's called Lincoln Park. I call it Hobo Park.
I know Lincoln Park. I used to host the Rocksteady anniversary at Lincoln Park.
A word?
It's
Nice.
right by the rehab.
That's kind of where I'm going with
Is
the
that
story.
not big facts?
That's kind of where I'm going with the story right now. That's where I'm going with. That's where.
Okay.
You're always in Newark. Fuck out of here. Ain't let a motherfucker know.
Not at the rehab. Not at the rehab.
Yo, the House of Integrity. You know what you ain't gonna find in the House of Integrity? Some motherfucking integrity. Okay. You ain't gonna find no integrity in there, man. Listen. Right. So. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I go to the park with my dog almost every day. What, again?
Yeah.
Did you lose me again?
You're spinning. Me too.
Yo. I can see you doing the spinny finger thing, but I don't know what's up.
Because that's what you're doing. You're spinning.
Yo, what
You're
kind
spinning.
of, this is racism right here, son. I'm blaming this on racism.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. Do you want me to stop it on my end and restart the live and reconnect the whole room?
No, don't do that because then folks got to let them stay connected on your end. It's easier if I just if I do this thing and then hit it back again.
Accento on the E wants to know if you can switch to your iPad. I guess we won't know now. We gotta wait for him to come back, folks. Yo, give me some more questions. There's only one question in the chat, and we need some more. Let's go. Boop, doop, doop. Here we go. Connecting, waiting, spending. Maybe if you just stand right there.
How about now?
Yeah, you good money.
All right.
And you're spinning again. I don't know what's going on with your interwebs, but it does not like you right now. Maybe somebody's hacking you. Maybe the Russians are on your router. I can't really call it. This is 20 Questions with Jeff Henriquez. This is Omar Victorious from Shooter Street. We're waiting for Jeff to come back because he seems to be having some network and connectivity issues. We've done 10 questions so far. We're going to pick up the next couple of questions in the chat. Let's see. Let's see if we can add him. He's doing a check-in on the chat. We're connecting. Yes. You are back.
Man, you know what it was? You know what it was? What? I was doing the whole thing on my cell phone just to make it a little bit easier.
Uh-huh.
But I'm using my iPad now, which I think I have a little better reception, a little better situation there. All right, cool.
All right, so let's jump into these next questions because we have only done 10 so far. Here we go. Boom. Any favorite jams to listen to when painting?
Wu-Tang Clan.
All right, so this is interesting because earlier today I was having a conversation with some friends on Zoom, and I was like, who's your best Wu-Tang member? Who's your top Wu member?
Raekwon.
Raekwon, huh?
Raekwon's my favorite, man. It's between. I mean, it's the top four is Meth, Ray, Ghost, and Inspector Deck.
Inspector Deck, yes.
Okay. The reason I like Ghost, the reason I like Ghostface should have been a playwright. He should have wrote. He should be writing screenplays.
I think he should have had a sitcom, personally. Like,
nah, man. No. Like the thing with Ghostface is he walks you through. We're talking the top four. The top four is my favorite four members of the Wu. The reason I like Ghostface is because he walks you through his whole story in the rhyme. You know what I'm saying? I kicked you in the door, man. I was waving my thing around. I kicked you in the face, threw on the ground, took all the drugs and ran away. He walks you through the whole thing. He walks you through the whole thing.
100%.
Visualize the story as it's taking place. The way Ghostface writes rhymes, and then Raekwon is just he's like, I don't know how tall. He's pretty short, but he's scary as fuck. Yeah, but he's bad. I love Raekwon.
So he gets points, but
Raekwon ain't scared of shit.
Being scary,
not being scary, but just being fearless. I guess is what I'm saying. There is no fear in Raekwon whatsoever. The way he talks, it's like he raps like he'll walk up to an 11-foot dude and be like, without any fear whatsoever. And then of course,
did you catch the Hulu series, the Wu-Tang Hulu series?
I didn't hear too many good things.
Was it Enter the 36 Chambers or whatever?
I didn't hear with the actors and stuff. I didn't hear too many good things about it, so I didn't even jump on it.
It wasn't bad. All right, let's go. Let's keep it flowing. We did 11 questions. We got a couple of more sitting in here. This was a fun question. Boom. Dream collabo.
Oh,
Jeff
Lord.
Henriquez.
That's a good question.
Love it.
Dream collab. Oh, man. Uh, That's a good one, man. That's a real good one. Okay, alive or dead? I'm gonna let action on the E. Double back on that. Alive or dead?
Accent on the E in the chat. Alive or dead for the dream collaboration? We'll give that a minute. We'll give that a minute to bubble up in the chat.
But
all right, this is a similar question, but this one is specific with alive or dead, and it's an artist that you would have a conversation with, dead or alive.
John Coltrane or Salvador Dali. One of those two. They're both artists. But I think John Coltrane would be an interesting guy to sit there and kick it with. Or Salvador Dali, to wonder what the fuck was going on in that man's head. You know what I mean?
Yo, he was like a whole ecosystem though. He was like, he had, so it wasn't just about the art. It was, his whole life was the art. You feel me?
Well, he had personal issues too. He had a lot of personal issues. He did a painting